All right, welcome back to Talkin Shirt, the Contract DTG podcast. I'm Mo, and as always, I'm here with Mark Boletnikoff. Today, we're diving into something that's been getting a lot of buzz: laser engraving for custom apparel. Mark, you remember the first time you fired up that laser for a batch of hats?
Oh, yeah, I remember it like it was yesterday, especially after months and months of research on machinery, materials, expenses, getting that department up and running, etc. Local restaurant came in, wanted their logo on a run of hats. I was a little skeptical to offer the service so soon. Honestly, wasn't sure if the detail would really pop, but man, when that first hat came out, the lines were so crisp. You could see every little detail in their logo. At the launch event, people kept picking up, the hats, turning them over, asking how we did it. It was a total game changer.
That's the thing, right? Laser engraving just nails that accuracy. You can get detail that screen printing or even embroidery can't always hit, especially on those tiny, intricate logos. And it's not just about the look, it's the feel, too. There's this premium finish, almost like the design is part of the fabric or leather, not just sitting on top.
Exactly. And durability, let's not forget that. With screen printing, you get cracking or fading over time, especially if folks are rough on their gear. Embroidery can fray, get dirty. Laser engraving, that mark is there for the long haul. I mean, unless you're taking a belt sander to it, it's not going anywhere. And the materials we use, patches are not coming off.
Yeah, and I think people underestimate how much that matters for stuff like hats, leather patches, even some of those synthetic blends. You want something that looks sharp and stays sharp. I mean, we've talked about durability before, like with DTF and DTG in past episodes, but laser engraving is a whole different animal.
It's true. And honestly, it's one of those things where once a customer sees it in person, they get it. Pictures don't do it justice. That restaurant job, we ended up getting 3 more orders just from people who saw those hats at the event. Word of mouth, right?
Word of mouth and a little bit of wow factor. All right, so let's talk about what it actually takes to get that kind of result, because it's not just push a button and go. So first things first, design prep. I see so many people mess this up. You can't just take a low res logo and expect magic. Mark, you want to walk through what you look for before you even think about hitting that laser?
Yeah, for sure. Clean vector art is a must. If you send me a JPEG you pulled off your website, it's going to look like garbage. The laser picks up every little flaw, so you want those lines sharp. And then material, huge factor. Not every hat or patch is created equal. Some synthetics melt. Some leathers burn too dark. You got to test, test, test.
I always tell people, if you're not sure, send a sample, don't risk your whole order on a guess. And it's not just hats, jackets, t-shirts, even those weird neoprene sleeves. Each one reacts different. I had a customer once who wanted laser on a poly blend tee. We had to dial in the settings so it didn't scorch the fabric. It's a process.
And combining methods can be cool too, like you do a laser patch and then stitch it onto a cap or pair it with DTG on a shirt. Opens up a lot of creative options, but you got to know what works together. I've seen people try to laser straight onto a puffy jacket. Bad idea. You end up with a melted mess.
Yeah, and I think a lot of folks get tripped up thinking laser is a fix-all. It's not. You got to respect the process, prep your design, know your materials, and don't be afraid to ask questions. I mean, we've all made mistakes. Remember that time I tried to engrave on that vegan leather and it just turned into a pile of ash?
Oh, I remember. Smelled like burnt tires in that department for a week, even with ventilation. But hey, that's how you learn. And honestly, if you're not making a few mistakes, you're not pushing the envelope.
Exactly. So if you're thinking about adding laser engraving to your lineup, just know it's all about dialing in the details. And when you get it right, it's worth every bit of effort. Let's talk about where laser engraving really shines: small batches and one-offs. I had a rush job last month. Startup needed personalized tumblers for a trade show. like 24 hours notice, classic. If we'd tried to screen print or even DTG those, no way we'd have made the deadline. But with the laser, I could just swap out the names in the file, line up the tumblers, and go. No screens, no setup, just straight to production. Save the day, honestly.
That's the beauty of it for small runs. The setup time is almost nothing. You're not burning screens or mixing inks. You just load the design, tweak the speed and power for the material, and you're off. I've done batches of 5 hats, each with a different name, and it's just as easy as doing 100 of the same. That flexibility is huge, especially for custom orders or events.
But it's not always the right tool, right? Like if you're doing 1,000 tees for a festival, laser's not your guy. That's when you go screen or DTG, like we talked about in earlier episodes. But for those boutique jobs or when you want that premium personalized touch, laser's hard to beat.
Yeah, and I think it's about knowing your options. I've had customers come in wanting laser on everything, and sometimes you got to steer them to what actually works best. But when it fits, it's a killer solution. And honestly, it's opened up a lot of new business for us. Stuff we couldn't have done before. In the end, the customer appreciated we weren't just taking their money. We actually cared about what they receive.
So if you're listening and you want to see what laser engraving can do for your brand, or if you need DTG, screen printing, whatever, hit us up at contract-dtg.com. We'll get you a quote, walk you through the options, and make sure you get the right fit for your project.
Yeah, don't be shy. We love talking shop, and we're always up for a challenge. Mo, as always, good talking with you. Let's do it again next week. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, please. We want to hear from you.
You got it, Mark. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Catch you next time on Talkin Shirt. Later, Mark.
See you, Mo. See you, everyone.